Hey Feasters, and welcome to episode 103. And today we've got an awesome show about pricing. Yeah, awesome. But how you should put your prices on your website so that it's crystal clear and effective for your business. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. And today's question is, how do you put your prices on your website? Is it better to list all of the prices individually? Is it better to put one price on there? Is it better to come up with packages? This question came by way of a coaching client of mine, and we were working through her website and how her services are structured to be able to display her services and pricing on her website effectively. Now, it's hard for me to answer this question in general terms, but what it's really going to come down to is your client. And let me explain what I mean by that. I'm always a fan of anything that brings in recurring revenue. And if this is the very first time you've ever listened to this podcast, just go ahead and look at the titles of the episodes, right, of this podcast, as well as Live in the Feast, and look at what I talk about online. You'll quickly know that I'm a fan of building recurring revenue. So with that being said, I will always lean in that direction, regardless of however the pricing is laid out. And if you want help in defining your recurring revenue opportunities, DM me on Twitter at Rezzz with 3 Z's and let's have a chat. But when you put your prices on your website, I encourage you to think about why you're doing it. When I did it, it was to filter out tire kickers. I found that I was getting more shoppers than buyers. I was okay with dropping leads into the business if it meant that more qualified leads were getting through and becoming clients. Pricing on my website sets the conversation around the lead's potential budget. And if they don't match, then there's no point in moving forward for either one of us. I'm fully aware that you may be skeptical about putting pricing on your website because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into that price alone if a larger project comes along. I get that. I also get that by putting pricing on your website, you're scared that the leads coming into the business may drop. I get that too. But both of those things are in your own mind. What you don't realize is that by putting pricing on your website isn't the ceiling. It's the floor of what you will do work for. To circle back to the original question, packages are fine if you're delivering on items that you know your leads will understand to a T. Because most of the time, those packages are laid out in those big pricing grids online, and they list all of the features, and the lead will select which one they want to go with. However, if the messaging isn't right, or your leads don't understand the value in those features, you may turn them away even if they are your ideal client. If you put one price on your website, then you'll want to say on there something to the effect that of what they're going to get for that price. But then if you want to do add-ons or there are other things that will cost more, make sure that you mention those on your website as well. Otherwise, if you say that you're going to do a website for $1,000 and then get into the sales conversation and then you say, well, the web development on top of the design is another $3,000, you'll immediately seem like you're a bait and switch artist and your lead will switch off and probably go with somebody else. Pricing is fun to play with, at least in my own opinion, because it's fun to see how it works, right? How you can run your business with the prices that you laid out and with how you're laying your prices out. Play with it and see. Give it 6 months one way, then turn it around and give it another 6 months another way. See the responses you get or don't get for that matter. And then that will tell you which way to go with your pricing on your website. Bottom line though, how you present it is truly a matter of understanding your leads and clients. You should give them options, but too many options causes confusion. Figure out what your value metric is. That's your one thing in business that as you give more of to your client, it costs you more. That value metric is what you should be deciding or should be the deciding factor in your options on your website, as well as your pricing. It will determine your profitability and sustainability as a business. If you have a question, ask Rezzz. That's me, by leaving me a tweet at Rezzz on Twitter, or go to askrezzz.com and leave me a question in the chat bubble on the right bottom side. Also, new to the Ask Rezzz show is a Choose Your Own Adventure Ask Rezzz. We've got 103 questions, including this episode. That's a lot of questions to go through. But what I've built out is you go to askrezzz.com, drop in your name and your email address, and answer a few questions in your inbox, and I'll build you out a customized playlist specifically built for you, answering the questions that I know you have with a select playlist just built out for you. Go ahead, give it a try. Let me know what you think. Until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.